Welcome back to the IdleTalk minis, and today I was getting something done for another mini I'm about to make, but I noticed that in my note-taking task app thing, that I had a full-blown review for a movie that TikTok made me watch for a series I was going to call TikTok Made Me Watch It, and where that stems from is just pretty much I thought I was a professional. What that stems from is pretty much you ever just be doom scrolling on TikTok and then you'll see a clip of a movie or a show and then you just have to swipe to the right, go on that profile and see if there's any more clips or other posts about that show. So I saw this clip and I immediately sent it to a group chat that I was in at the time because I was living in Baltimore visiting my friend Malik, and so I put in that little house group chat. I'm like, yo, we need to watch this, and I sent the link. And they're like, yeah, we're down. And then Malik went to go visit our friend. So it was just me and his housemate. And so we watched this movie called Above the Shadows. It's pretty much the same format of how I did the Yellow Jackets season 1 and 2 minis, where I would just take a bunch of notes, read them back to you, and then trying to boggle my brain. So we're going to follow that same format. So Above the Shadows, I do vaguely remember this movie. And I think I gave it like a 6. I think it was a 6 out of 10. Just my initial rating right there. But let's get into it. First, we start off with a girl who's ignored by her family. And there's a cute little moment where only the mother cares for her. And then the mom dies. Boom. So we're kicking off this movie strong. After the mom died, the girl slowly became invincible. And you're going to ask me, what do you mean by that? I mean, literally, the dad and the other siblings just moved on with their life as if that person never existed, which was pretty weird. So now she's an adult at this point in the movie. We get to see a scene where, as the girl slowly becomes invincible, that her room becomes like a storage closet. And I was like, damn, that sucks. So she's invincible. And then all of a sudden, this random guy can see her because at this point, we haven't found this out yet, but she's like a paparazzi person. She'll go in, since she's invincible, she'll take photos of people, and then they'll get posted, be like, who the fuck took that? Like, there ain't no way. They could never, like, who the fuck took this picture of me with this femboy type shit? You know what I'm saying? Turns out this guy's not a random person, the bouncer in the club that noticed her. She did him wrong before. He used to be a super famous MMA up and coming fighter, and then some leaked photos of him cheating on his girlfriend came out, and she was ultimately responsible for taking those photos. So now they agreed to meet up the next day because she kind of was like, yo, if you can see me, that's fucking insane. Like, how can you see me? And he's like, what do you mean? You're a fucking person. She's like, no, look at this. Watch me. I'll go with you to talk to your manager, and I can prove to you that he won't see me, and I'll even help you out. And so we get a scene in a bar where this guy is like, yo, you could do this show, this poker show, and you'll get $800 a week. And then the girl's looking over in the contract. She's like, actually, it says 1,200 on here. So, and he's like, oh, I thought it was 1,200. And he's like, oh yeah, you right, my bad. So he tried to take some of my boy's money. So then he believes her. So they agree to meet up the next morning, and we kind of get to know the boxing MMA guy. He's got like a sad backstory. I don't really remember it. So we're gonna proceed to the next note. So my next series of notes say, there's a dog with a missing leg, sad face, obviously, right? And then they showed us a gym, and like, this is where this guy learned to fight. And she said that she couldn't go into crowds because one time she got really, really hurt, and she can't get medical attention. She obviously, because she's invincible, so she had to patch herself up. She also got a scar for that. And I said, oh my god, it's raining in this scene. Immediately after the raining note, it says, are they about to fuck? And the whole movie, there's just this sexual tension between the two of them, and I guess it's because she's never had sex, probably, and so she's just really, really horny, I guess. So there's that tension there, and so it turns out after some blackmail and some snooping of photos, she gets that guy a fight. And it's a big fight because it's the first time he'll come back after being disgraced. And so she thinks if she can get him the career that he's always wanted, that she'll break a curse or something that made her invincible. But that's not even anywhere close to what the actual lesson that this movie is trying to teach us here. We get a nice little training montage, and then my next note immediately afterwards is homegirl is trying to impress. She came dressed to impress, so I think that was pretty funny. And my next note after that says, oh my god, he won the fight, and the reporter's asking him why is he not celebrating, and then he looks at the reporter and he's like, oh, I plan on celebrating. And then I put, they're having a cute little date on the deck, and I have these little hand covering emojis because they did fuck. They end up fucking on the deck. My next note is a little weird after they have the little like hand emoji thing. It says, just because people don't see you doesn't mean you don't exist. And I think that was playing on the part of that there was a paparazzi on the deck with them after, because obviously it's a big deal that he won, and then he took a photo of them, and you can't see her. You can't see her at all, and she's like a blur, like a black blur. And I think that was where I got that like little like life advice from. So just because people don't see you doesn't mean you don't exist, fam. My next series of notes goes the following. Oh my god, our homegirl is blackmailing the next fighter so he can fight our boy. I said our girl Holly is head over heels for this guy. So apparently the main character's name is Holly. And I said, not his ex hitting him back up. And I said, oh, she's a little jealous. She's hating on X hard right now. No, actually the X was hating on the like, yo, who's that? Who's the girl? Who's that girl? Like, what? Like, are you still not hung up over me? Like, what do you like? What's up? And he's like, bro, relax. Like, I'm doing me, pretty much. That's how that conversation went. And then after he hangs up, and then she's like, yo, I just want to see you. Like, I miss you. Like, I just want to like be friends. And then that makes our boy conflicted. So we hate our boy at this point. So now after she secured a fight, he beat him. Imagine he beat her. He beat the guy because she blackmailed him hard because he had sex with an underage girl. I think she was like in 10th grade or something like that. So she was blackmailing him with that. Yo, you gotta throw the fight. You can't actually think you're gonna win this. And he's like, and then so there's like this tension in the fight. He's like, yo, I can't believe you like this. And he's like, huh? I'm gonna beat your ass. What do you mean? And so our boy doesn't know anything about this exterior like blackmailing up to this point. So he wins that. We don't even know if he was gonna win it originally, but the guy ended up throwing the fight because she has this information on him. So she tries to go and blackmail the next fight, and she can't. Do you know why? Look at me. Do you know why she can't? Because that man is a wholesome man. He takes care of his mom. He has a nice apartment. He goes out and he jogs, and she can't get any dirt on this guy. She can't even like go into his bathroom because he's invincible still. Like she can't take pictures of any drugs or any medicine because this guy is literally taking his vitamins and walking his dog and taking care of his grandma, buying them groceries and shit. So she can't be like, I can't even do nothing right now. And my next two notes are like, oh my god, his sister, oh my god, the main character's sister is pregnant. So she was snooping in like her sister's house. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna grab some clothes. I'm gonna go on a cute date or whatever." And she sees the pregnancy test, and then the sister throws it in the garbage after she takes it, and then she goes and she snoops in somebody's garbage, and she's like, "Oh, my sister's pregnant. That's crazy." And then immediately after that note says, "Oh my God, her new man is on a date with his ex." Until she goes and she finds out and she sees it. She's like, oh, "What the fuck is happening?" And then he's like, "Whoa, it's not what it looks like." And then, you know like classic trope in movies where like oh, I don't even want to talk to you, and she runs away type shit. So that's what really happens. My next series of notes goes, oh my god, their first fight. LMAO, not are you spying on me? The drama in all caps. And he just found out at that point that she was fixing his fights for him. He was like, whoa, what do you mean? I worked so hard to get back to where I gotta be. Like I thought you were just scheduling these fights for me. And she was like, nah. And he was very upset. I put appropriate response because if you was a washed up MMA guy and you thought your hard work was finally paying off and it turns out it wasn't because this girl was using blackmail and her special abilities to do that, I would feel some type of way too. And so I labeled that as an appropriate response, and then I put immediately after that, oh my god, sad girl montage, because as in any movie that has followed this trajectory of events as I've told them to, of course there would be a sad girl montage. After that, I said maybe Holly needs to look deeper into her past, because maybe the riddle isn't about making amends with who she wronged. My next note says she just went off on him and he was like, I didn't say that, and he's right, because he dead ass didn't say that because I was taking notes. So I don't know how she thought she could gaslight my boy, but mission not accomplished, bitch. Oh my god, and there was a moment where she was raging and Shorty broke the last thing her mom gave her, and I put unhinged. And Malik's housemate is like a super smart person and like a doctor or something. I don't know what they do. But they were like, she probably has a process her mom's death from an adult brain. That's a literal quote that I wrote down. And I was like, that sounds pretty smart. And after that unhinged like moment, she goes to look at herself in the mirror, and guess what? Guess what? I'll pause. Guess what? She can't see herself in the mirror anymore. So I was like, what the fuck is even happening right now? You know that guy that she's been blackmailing people for? Turns out she goes to his place to try to like make amends, apologize, talk before his big fight with that wholesome guy I was telling you about earlier. But turns out our homeboy can't even see her anymore. So now she's like triple double omega stressed because she's like, I can't see myself. People couldn't see me before, and now this guy who could see me before can't see me anymore. So she was like, losing her fucking mind. In that process of like losing her mind, she was like talking like shit about her mom, saying, why did you leave me? You know, as ungrateful children do. And I said, girl, you gotta process this hurt. That's literally what my next note says. Girl, process this hurt, please. She just goes and tries to snoop in on her sister again. And she's in the bathroom, the sister, and her man, who is like a European like bike salesman or something like that. Something weird. Like they made a note of it, like that he was like not from this country or something. But so they're talking with each other in the bathroom, and then the sister goes and tips over the fucking garbage where the pregnancy test was, and there's a pregnancy test comes out because the sister was always worried. She's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to have a baby. I'm not ready. Da, da, da. And then the guy's like, oh my God, we're gonna have a baby. That's so fucking cool. And so she has a brother. She has a brother, and he's like a weirdo. He takes like videos of people's knees. Don't get me started on that. I haven't written a note on that, but I do remember that. But like, you know, I haven't like taken note of that because I feel like all that weird shit could have just been taken out. And so she helps her brother talk to his crush because he has videos and videos and videos of like her passing by every single day, and she's noticed, like she's picked up on it, that he kind of likes her. And so she trips the fuck out of this bitch, like just boom, she falls down, and he runs out of his house. He tries to help her up, and then they have a little moment, and then I guess it's a happily ever after because maybe they just like talk and go on a date and shit. But she tripped the fuck out of this girl just randomly, like out of nowhere, which I thought was funny as fuck, but she just dropped her ass real quick. And then this is the message the movie is trying to convey to us. All right. So it's now because she's making amends with people, even though technically she didn't really wrong them. She goes with her dad, and she notices that he's like doing work, and then he gets off of it, and he's starting to go somewhere. She's like, Dad, where are you going? And then he drives over to his mom's, to her mom, his ex-wife's site, and then she has a fucking like pivotal moment in her character development here, and she realized that she was not the only one who lost her mother, and she selfishly thought that kind of like that she was the only one who was hurt by it, but clearly like she has her sister, brother, and her father, and it's showcased in a way where we were to believe that it was their fault, you know, that like they didn't really care about this girl. But it turns out that maybe she was just so upset and so like bitchy, I want to say, like that she didn't really care about other people's emotion and how to process their trauma instead of processing it together. She kind of maybe just pushed herself away, and in turn, like erasing herself completely from this family. And then we get to the very end of the movie. So we're back at our boy, you know, our MMA guy. We're back at his fight, and he wins, right? But he's getting his ass beat before that. And then she runs in the ring, and she's like, yo, you can do this, like you got this. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing in here? And then they have like a little moment together. Like in that moment, he's like, what are you doing in here? She's like, you can see me? He's like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing in here? And she's like, well, you know, good luck, you know, I'm sorry I couldn't come, blah, 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 blah. Turns out the whole fucking stadium can see there's a random fucking woman in there. And then people are like, is that girl on his team? Why is she in there? Like, move, bitch, like, get out the way, like, type shit. And then so they take her out of the ring, and he eventually wins. And he's like, no, she's with me. I'm sorry, you know, it's a big mix-up. And then he has a moment with his ex, and she's like, yeah, I realize, like, that you don't want me back. You like that girl, so go get your girl. And he's like, all right, bam, I'm gonna go get it. And then I put my next note, not the spell being broken. And so after all of this, right? People see her, and the spell's broken, whatever spell it was. And I'm like, at the end of this movie, I'm like, why did like everybody like forget about her, right? She can finally see her sister, her brother, and her dad, and they're like, oh my God, where you been? And she's like, She's like, oh, I've been gone, like type shit. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Where have you been? For like you, it's like she's never existed, and for her, she's just been in fucking limbo for her entire life, pretty much. And I didn't like that ending. I was like, I'm like, I have more questions than I did walking into this. But that was Above the Shadows that TikTok made me watch. Because that one fucking clip of like in the bar scene, that's what got me. I'm like, we gotta go watch this. This movie sounds dope as fuck. And it was a 6 out of 10. And I don't regret it. You know, I don't regret watching it, and I don't regret giving it this rating. But that was today's Idle Talk Mini. I got a ton of stuff right here that you can't see that I'm gonna get ready for to record. But other than that, I'll see you on the next one. And follow me on Letterboxd, as I'm gonna fucking try to make a review for Letterboxd on my phone right now. So see you later.